What's going on, guys? Hopping on today to try to be um, informative on, again, some of the things, some of the tactics, and some of the things that um, the Stasi program implements in your life to try to stop you, to try to isolate you, to try to set you up, try to write the narrative, and put you in situations that make you more accessible to them. In my case, these people are trying very hard to sex traffic me. They have been doing just that for the last, um, off and on, for the last 13 to 14 years. And this all began happening to me in 2011. And they've been harassing and violating my civil and human rights ever since, in a very aggressive manner. They've caused me to lose jobs. They have caused me to be homeless. They've caused me to lose out, friends. They infiltrated my family. They have stolen things from me. They have taken my identifications and my credentials and put them on the black web. They've done all kinds of things that are beyond violations of civil and human rights. What they've done and what they are doing is quite abominable. The invasion of my privacy, the illegal surveillance and the illegal monitoring, using the taxpayers' dollars to monitor and to surveil me for the purposes of having me raped. Once they have me pinpointed in a location, it's pretty outrageous how these people, especially these police officers and these judges and these clerk-appointed officers, and how these people have operated to try to ruin my life. And this is a person that doesn't have a criminal record. I don't have a criminal record. I don't have a record. And this is the way that I've been abused. This is the way that I'm being abused. So speaking of like losing jobs, a couple of jobs I'm going to talk about that I lost. And one of the main reasons why they didn't want me having these jobs is because it helped me with my shelter issue. These people want me to be homeless. They want me to be out in the elements because of two reasons. It gives them easier access to me, where they know where I'm at, and they could just come and rape and violate me the way that they have in the past for the last 7 years, 6 to 7 years. And it also writes that narrative that they're trying to write about your mental stability, your ability to take care of yourself, or, what line of work you're in. You're a prostitute. She doesn't have a job, so she's obviously out there selling her body. And, these are the type of things that they're trying really hard to write this narrative, because they didn't expect me to get on social media and talk about what was happening to me. They didn't expect that. They thought I was going to be an easy target. I was just going to be someone that's going to be suffering in silence and let them do whatever they choose to do, and eventually die, which is what they had planned. Because, there's family members who's got insurance claims on you, and they're ready to get that payout, and, because they're involved. So it was a whole big setup, and they've done it many, many times before. I'm not the only one that these people have tried to do this to. And they have been successful in the past. And they were successful at doing the things that they're doing to me. However, they didn't expect for me to articulate and explain and expose the way that I've been doing. But that's one of the things that they are really pushing for, is to try to push me out into a situation where I'm not able to take care of myself financially. And I'm living a life that fits the narrative that they're trying to create, which is I'm irresponsible, I can't hold down a job, I got anger issues, I'm crazy, I'm doing drugs, I'm probably selling my body, that's how I'm getting a little money that I'm getting. And that's the reason why we were watching her. That's the reason why we were rolling around surveilling her. It's because this is what she was doing. They think they're so much fucking smarter than you, which is it's insane to me. And what's even more insane is that they keep running the same fucking narrative, and people, the outside people, are believing this shit. You see this over and over and over again. Instead of you being like, wow, this is really weird. Like, this person has a college degree, they don't have a record, and the police are like following them and monitoring them and, you know, going inside of their hotel rooms and going inside their apartments and shit. Like, what's up with that? But instead of doing that, they just follow the program. And they know this, and that's why they're able to continue to do what they've been doing. So anyway, I was working at, I had landed a job at a hotel. And it didn't pay very much, but I was able to get a discount on a hotel room and be there, you know, maybe 2-3 days out of the week, which was very good for me, just to, you know, switch things up and put a stop to, you know, these people that they've been using, these men trying to figure out where I was and having that easy access to me because I'm sitting out sleeping in public. But this was like really frustrating for them. They hated this, but it's also one of the reasons why they continuously and aggressively began stalking and surveilling me in the open. And I have quite a few videos that I made in the last 6 months where these police officers are following me inside the hotel. I mean, these gas stations and monitoring me when I was not in my room. And like I said, me being in these hotel rooms didn't really change much because they were using my employees, my coworkers, to go inside my rooms when I was at work or when I was gone, to put listening devices, to put cameras. And there's a few videos that I made about that, where there's a listening device that I found in one of my rooms behind the picture. And that was where I was working and where I was staying. And this is how these people were operating. There's a supervisor who was Mexican, and her name starts with, well, I won't say that, but I'll just call her Adria. She's a supervisor who was heavily involved. She was probably like the ringleader of my being raped and violated and me being sold while I was at that hotel. Then my coworker, who was on the same level as me, we'll call her Jennifer. She was the one who trained me. And when I first got there, you know, she was trying to befriend me because, you know, they're always sending people to me to have these fake people in my circle so that it makes it easier for them to watch me, know what I'm going to do, know what I'm doing. And so they don't have to illegally try to get in my phone and shit like that. So when I first got there and she was training me, she was always trying to act like she was gang stalked. Now, I don't get a lot of people that I talk to who come out talking about being gang stalked and gang stalking and this shit. It's a very uncommon thing. And when it happens, I know right off the bat that I'm dealing with a perp. Somebody who's already been involved, who's been solicited to participate in watching me, monitoring me, and working against me. So for about 3 weeks during our training, you know, she just kept trying to, you know, talk about how she's being gang stalked. And a lot of the stuff that she was saying happened to her was stuff that was happening to me. So I was like, this bitch knows what I'm going through. She knows my situation, and she's trying to get me to talk to her so that it could seem like we resonate. Oh, she's a friend, finally. Somebody that I can trust. But again, I've been through this, you know, way too much, way too often. So I wasn't falling for that. When she realized that I wasn't falling for it, she turned dark. and decided, well, fuck it. I'm just going to go ahead and show my hand and show who I really am. And I'm just going to go ahead and start coming against the chick because this is what I'm being paid to do anyway. So she picked the fight, which is real obvious and real stupid about something really retarded. And from that point on, we were enemies. Well, she was showing me, I'm your enemy. So I was like, okay, that's cool. Like, I'm not tripping. It's not a big deal. I knew this is what it was, so I'm not surprised by it at all. So it was her, and it was two men that worked there that was also participating in it. One of the men I worked with more often, he was a biker. And I knew he was participating as well in a very heavy way. He would, I seen him having conversations with men that were coming in, that they were setting up dates. This is what these people were doing. These front desk people were setting up dates and telling these men that came in to get reservations, oh yeah, she's here, and whatever the conversation was. But I knew it was like them acting like the pimp, making these dates for me to be raped. So there was one time where there were two white men that kept hanging around. And it's just an example of how I knew that they were participating. And I'll call this biker guy, just the biker guy. But these two white men, they just kept hanging around. And every time I would get off work, they would, first they'd be hanging around the lobby. But when I get off work, they would leave, go up to the room areas. They would follow me up to the room areas. And so this went on for about a week. And so finally I started being a lot more aggressive about watching it. And I was at the front desk, and when these men would be on these hotels, and after they've raped and violated me, they always want to try to have conversations with me. They want to try to see if they can try to strike up a real life encounter. These are things that I knew. So I would obviously be polite, but I was never carrying on any like extra conversations with these men for this very reason. So I'm at the front desk, and this guy comes up, and on the side of me was the snack area where you can purchase food or you can purchase drinks. And the water was free. The bottled water that we had in the freezer was free. And everybody was already told that when they would come in. And these motherfuckers had been there for over a week. So they already knew this shit. So he comes in all in my fucking face. And whenever he was all in my face and staring and shit and trying to act like he wanted to have a conversation, I'd always like get up and act like I'm going to go do something else. Like, I'm not having a conversation with you. I know who you are and what you are. So he comes in and he goes over to the cooler and he's getting something, and my back is to him. I'm acting like I'm, getting something out of the printer. And he's like, hi, how's it going? Now, who speaks to somebody who's not even looking at them? My back is to you. I'm down, messing with something. He's over getting the water. This motherfucker gets his water, stands there waiting for me to turn around to talk with him. And so I just kept on, doing what I was doing. He's still standing there. How's it going? So I get up and go off to the back because I'm like, are you serious right now? So I watch on the camera to see when he was leaving. He finally left. And then I come back, and the guy that I was working with, the biker guy, he was always pretty good about writing down the events that took place on his shift. And it was getting around to be the time for us both to be getting off. And he said, was there anything that you want me to put in this pass down? And I said, yeah. I said, put down that these guys are creeps and weirdos around here. I said, this guy was all in my face trying to have a conversation, with me when I wasn't even looking at him. I was just, no eye contact, nothing. My back was to him, and I was actually trying to fix the printer, and he was just all in my face. And I just said this like as a joke. Because clearly I wasn't saying, to really put that in the past down. This motherfucker got all angry. So what was the problem? What's the problem? What's wrong with him doing that? He's just trying to be polite, right? And I was just like, what? I mean, seriously, like I'm serious. I'm being serious. Like, what did he do wrong? Like, what was wrong with him trying to be polite? And I said, do you go into places and try to be polite to people who are not even acknowledging your presence? They're not even looking at you. They're bending down, doing something different, and you walk by and you stop and say hello. Do you do shit like that? I mean, I haven't done anything like that, but I'm just saying, like, it sounded like to me, he was just trying to be polite. And I said, well, first of all, I'm just joking. I don't mean for you to really put that in the past down. Oh, oh, sorry about that. Sorry. Because this is somebody that he's already talked to. They've already made deals. He's already told them what time I get off. And, they've already set this up. And he's scared that I'm talking about this man because, he knows what the fuck he's doing and what he's done.